Well, hi everyone, and we're in with another rocky road of chess emotions, the high and lows of a hacking Grandmaster. And I've already wasted a bit of time on my clock because my microphone for some reason wasn't working, but normal, I'm very well prepared. And we're straight in, luckily enough, with a Dutch. And this is a good sign. We're playing a CM. Where the hell's that? Sierra I can't even say it. Dyslexia, go away. Sierra Leone. And wow, I mean, I haven't heard of any chess players in there, so that's quite a dangerous country, isn't it? I'm quite ignorant to politics around the world and areas. Geography is the word. Let's just bloody concentrate on the chess. And we're in with my normal Dutch. And if you remember the video from last week, white should take and come in with a check here now. And I will just get rid of whatever that white stain is on my top. You know, it doesn't look so good. And after the king moves, so this is the best way to play. Now, I'm always happy to see this move because I should get good attacking chances on that area of the board. But where do I move the knight? Do we actually even come all the way back? Or do we come to the more logical square here? Okay, I'm going to come here, but maybe even knight b8 is better to try and get the knight somewhere like c5, because the knight is not on a particularly great route here. Now, my opponent is maybe preparing to play f4, which will close down the position. So can I play f4 myself? And this opens up my bishop and my knight. It stops my opponent playing this move. And it tries to put a bit of pressure over on the area of the board I like the best, the king side. Okay, now this move I'm kind of happy to see. I won't be taking that. Let's just continue advancing over there. And I'd love to get these two moves in, obviously, g4 and f3. But my opponent can try and close it down. But if he does, I've got h5. So I've got a little bit of initiative on the king side. I'll probably get my queen over there. And then maybe my knight can come to g6. Not the best square, g6, but it's okay. And here, I'd love to play this move, but my opponent takes it again. The knight, he's trying to get counterplay with this. But let's just get on with it on the king side, because if I crash through on the king side, I'm just going to win, because it doesn't matter what he does on the queen side. You can win a pawn, win a thing. If I win on the king side, it'll be checkmate. So next step, maybe my knight now can find some use here. But he has done a good job of blocking it up a little bit, I must admit. And the reason I didn't go king here and rook here is I was a bit worried about knight takes f4. I've got to watch out for that tactic, knight takes f4. So my knight's okay here. And I just want to obviously pile through. Maybe, first of all, let's get the knight here. And now I'm hoping knight takes here is not an issue. It does scare me a little bit, that move. Takes, queen takes, bishop takes b2. I've really got to watch out for this one. Okay, so queen here. Is this still under control? I'm going to move my bishop first because maybe I need to guard that one. I don't know, it's a little bit slow. I would love to have played that, but knight takes f4, pawn takes, queen takes f4. Just something about that scared me a little bit. And again, I'd love to move my bishop back, but knight takes f4 again. So we're going to have to... I'd love to move my bishop around here, but knight takes f4 is a real pain, isn't it? It's a reoccurring idea. Do I want to stop this one first? Okay, let's just go in. Let's just go for it now. And my opponent trying to... And now maybe this. Don't know. I'm playing a bit hesitantly here, which is not a good sign. I'm watching out for these two squares. If I play here, knight takes f4. So I really want to get my bishop to b6. So this is what I'm trying to do at the moment, just improve my forces as much as I can, because that certainly has some threats. And then I'd love to pile up on the g file, but got to be very careful how I do that, as you can already see. If I can force both of these pieces away, then I would imagine this will be a very strong attack. So bishop b6 should do that. And I've also got this square now, so this is quite dangerous. But he plays knight takes f4. Okay, well, let's just move the queen back, because now he is in a pin. And as long as he can't get through this pawn formation, it should be safe. So he's come in with a check. Okay, I've got to move out the way, because otherwise my queen is lost. And now, can I take this one first? I think so. And I've got rook takes, queen takes here. But after this one, knight takes looks good. And now let's just get rid of this bishop. This bishop has been a pain. I'm a lot of material up. I can even take this one, I think. But let's be doubly safe. I don't know. I don't like that last move I just played because of this one. Oh, God. And I'm fucking this up. Still the exchange up. What am I doing, though? I'm going to shut up and play because I'm playing this horrendously. Really badly. So... So I just had to I'm having to concentrate here because of my rather atrocious play that I'm doing at the moment. I'm just going to concentrate on queening this pawn, but because I was playing very jittery, I just had to focus my mind there a little bit because I really didn't want to lose. I say I didn't want to. The game's still going on, but I really didn't want to throw this game away. In the great position that I had and still have. Well, okay, let's do this one. This is the correct way. And yeah, I mean, there's no stalemates ever. And even if there was, I wouldn't be falling into it. And next move should be the end. There we go. Okay, a little bit jittery there. Always jittery with me, but we got a win. And I was probably doing okay for most of the game there. But let's have a look at what the computer says. Probably going to say I'm a wally. It always does. 90%. There you go. And there you go. I was doing okay. As soon as I got out the dodgy Dutch, the lovely Dutch, the brilliant Dutch, my favourite opening, the Dutch, the amazing Dutch. As soon as I got out of the Dutch, which I like the opening a lot, and you can see it just slowly goes my way. Obviously I missed some opportunities around here, and that's why I shut up, because I certainly played a little bit suspectly, but all in all 90%, quite a smooth game, and the Dutch is just a bloody good opening, isn't it? And if we go back to see where things started to go very well for me, the computer, and I don't always listen to the computer, might think that this d5 move is okay, and it does, but I don't really trust it, because I always get, as I did in the game, this easy to play attack on the king side. And I think the knight actually probably should come here and try to get to c5. This is ideally where I want the knight, so in future I wouldn't put it here, but this is okay, because there are chances of it coming towards the king side, and still the computer thinks this is equal, but I'd much prefer to be black here because I am attacking. And now we just keep coming forwards. The queen tries to come over, makes some sense. And in this position, I really wanted to play this and this, right? But knight takes f4. I kept going on about knight takes f4, knight takes f4. I mean, this feels normal because my knight was doing absolutely nothing on e7. It was just an NCP looking at nothing, and here it comes and becomes a main character, and I think it's all right here, isn't it? This is where I'm always doing okay as long as I'm careful, and I took a little bit too much time, but better to be safe than sorry. Okay, so now we're going to stick with the birds. This is probably the last week I'm going to try the birds because I love it. It's one of my favourite chessboard courses I've recorded. I've pretty much finished recording this chessboard course on the birds, and I'm having a lot of fun with the opening, and it's certainly an opening that I will be wanting to play a lot more of. And I'm thinking that this is still in the birds course, this move. I had this last week and I lost a pretty horrible game, but I played it badly. And this position, very interesting. Now my opponent's trying to get control of this square. Now I know I have recommended this before. Now, do I throw the check in first? Okay, it doesn't maybe matter. Let's go here and castle. And the thing with the birds, you just get very interesting positions. I'm not even saying this position is, you know, I've got to think here. This is the kind of move I'd love to play. Maybe I should have checked first and played. Yeah, I should have. But you get very interesting positions, and that's what's attracted to me to this opening. Very fresh, very new. I'm trying to master them still. It's going to take me a while, hence why I want to get more practice with the opening, as much practice as I can. But it's fascinating, the whole concept of this opening. I just love the unique positions, and this is another very unique position. I mean I don't know, as I say, if I'm better here, but it's quite weird. And now my opponent should probably take and come queen here. Okay, this seems a little bit peculiar, but he wants squares for his knight. Now, I really want to move my queen in. Okay, if you want to do something, then just do it. Worry about the consequences later. Horrendous advice there from me. And I'm going to come here because I fell for this trick earlier last week, and the queen is much better placed here. Defends my bishop. So my opponent gets rid of that one. And now he probably wants to support this here. Now, can I sacrifice? This is the first fort. Can I come here? Or do we just play it a bit more positionally minded, probing over here? I couldn't see the sacrifice working, and now I've got to watch out for this. So maybe this move is just not particularly great. But I'm going to throw a check in, because he doesn't want to play c6 in this structure. And my knight is still very tasty here. And my queen can try to come back here. I mean, f5 was very interesting. Maybe that sacrifice was good, but after knight takes, I'm quite fully committed. This way, I still should have a pleasant game. Knight here and then f5 could be very interesting, but I haven't taken as much risk. And the reason he didn't want to do these pawn moves is because he's created these issues here. Okay, so now I play c4, obviously. And if knight came there, f5 was an idea. Now, f5 not really working. Now, can I just take here? Well, I think we should, and we will. And now, is this a decent square, or do I get a bit more greedy? No, this is a good square for now. We're a pawn up, but actually my knight is in some problems. Didn't realise my knight was so bad here, actually. But if he goes here, I've got takes and f5. So he's preparing this idea. Now, can I go here at the right moment? Very weird position. I want to go f5. Okay, I'm going to play this move. It looks interesting to me. And now I wanted to play this. This is one of the reasons I moved my rook here. But I'm not really sure. I should have done that. Okay. I shouldn't have done that, should I? Why do I start doing such absolute nonsense? Because now rook here, and I've got this check, but I've thrown away my edge. Not good play. I was thinking about taking that one, but now my opponent should be totally safe. Again, I get very annoyed with the way I play sometimes. And this position is not ideal because my pawn is a bit weak here. It's not the end of the world, this, but it's not the start of the world either. And does my knight have anywhere funky to go? I can't see it, so I'm going to have to go here, because otherwise here I can get in pins. And things are getting exchanged off here. So I can't really hope to win this position anymore, I feel. Maybe this one is a good tactic. Then I take and go bishop d4 and hopefully win here. And I've got to grab this pawn. And bishop c3 runs into knight e2, so just got to avoid that one. But after bishop b3, king here, bishop takes here, knight takes here, should be alright. So let's play this move. And now knight takes pawn is a way to try and do something. And this should obviously be a draw now. And as long as I don't flag in this position, which I'm very good at doing, flagging. So let's try to avoid the flag, and we should be all good here. Okay, we'll take that one off and offer him a draw. If he says no, well, fair enough, but that's a draw. Okay, I mean, I think I had some chances there. He's obviously a very strong player, so it's not the end of the world. But I started to go, a very nice position from the birds again. It's a really good opening. I'm really enjoying it. And I know I played it 3 Tuesdays in a row. I rarely do that, but I love a fresh opening. I've been spending more time studying it recently, and this course, the chessboard course, will come out soon. And I made the embarrassing mistake of the creator of the Birds chessboard course, one of the best courses I've ever worked on, the Raven. I said he was originally Brazilian, moved to America. Oh my god, the shame. But I got that the wrong way around. He's American and he's moved to Brazil. And Brazil, what a lovely country. So I apologise massively for that. Massively, that's supposed to mean. And he's created something quite special with this course, and he's put in a lot of time and effort, so highly recommended. And you can see I'm just having so much fun with it, and I'm getting very good positions against good players, so why would I change openings? And it's not that theoretical. So what's my score here? Well, you can see, yeah, I mean, the opening did its job. Around about here, knight e4 is a mistake, so I guess I should take and go queen here. That would make more sense. I played a bit too passively in this game, I think. There's a lot of mistakes by both of us, but that's kind of to be expected in weird positions. And this was a weird position. And I was worse, there's no doubt about it, but I was also winning around this point after queen here. I mean, why didn't I just take here straight away? I mean, this position... Okay, so there's a couple of things to look at. First of all, after my opponent played knight e4, so if I get this again, I know what to do. This position, maybe what I was thinking is I played a mistake. I think I should check here first. This is certainly an improvement because we get the same kind of idea, but now his bishop has become worse. I thought he was going to aim to play c5 so it doesn't make a mistake, but this is clearly a better idea, because now if the knight comes here, he doesn't have the option of opening this up. So that's my first error. But after knight e4, I wanted to do this. I wanted to just castle, and this shows that I'm playing a little bit too respectful here. If I was playing someone lower rated, I probably would just castle. And the point being, this is his idea, but now his king is a real target, and I can start playing like Morphy here. Stop him in castling, put the bishop there, bring the queen in. This is really quite scary. Bishop b5 check, rook e1. Wow. This is really exciting stuff. So that's another mistake that I made. So if I ever get this again, I can check. But if we want to encourage him to put the knight in, just castle. And this is really interesting. Okay, if we go on, My position still, I think I played okay. I don't think I played brilliantly, but I played okay. And now f5, you see, if I just go with my... Remember I was saying, oh, I think f5 might be playable, and then I play something else. I can play f5. I just follow my gut here. And actually, it only leads to a perpetual check. So the point is, after this one, I wanted to play rook takes f5, which is not that bad. Very interesting sacrifice. But there is a little line here where we go check, and we're trying to go takes something, and then queen e5. This is fascinating. King here, takes, 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 takes. Is this only a draw? King here, and now this move, getting the bishop in. Looks very scary for him, but according to the computer, it is only a draw. Wow. Okay, and then queen d5 was the next time. This is, again, a lovely position. Had he gone knight here now to block this one, yes, I would have played f5. Because he can't take my bishop because this is checkmate. And my knight is so strong. Really cool ideas here. So he played queen d5. And now I did play the right move. c4. The queen came back. And I do go a pawn up. But around about here... Did I just do something really wrong? Okay, so what did I do? Hang on a minute. Let's have a look. So this is all okay. So I should... Obviously... Okay. Let's concentrate on the next game because we're playing another strong player here. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to play the birds again. Bring on the birds. I mean, can you believe it? The guy who created the birds course is called Raven, the king of all birds. And he does deserve that title. And we're going to do stage 1. And I already played the wrong fucking move. C4 is what I meant to play. And I was thinking about ravens and birds, and why did I do this? This is not in the course, but we're going back into the course now, and this is in the course. We transposed back. I'm such a fucking numpty at times. The brain just works, and we are back in the course now. And I wish I could remember. I think we have to take here, and now queen takes is logical, and now I think we put the bishop here. And this position, not all lines are going to be better. And this position, I would say, is even. But how much does this look like a classical Dutch? It really is a classical Dutch, but we got this quite cool bishop here. So it's like a cool classical Dutch. Now, his idea will be to play this move at some point, so I have to watch out for that possibility. Now, takes, knight takes. Probably not working. Do we get the queen out the way? Let's get the queen out the way and have ideas of bringing it over here. He's probably going to move his queen. And now, well, I think I should. I mean, a4 is kind of a move that is tempting. But I'm just going to throw this one over here. He can start pushing here. But now this I really want to give a bit of respect for. Again, I'm still getting used to the positions. But... Or do I bring it all the way back? Which one? And if he then pushes, if he pushes there, can I just take it? Okay, let's bring it to e2. Not sure which is the better square, and I'm only worried about d4 here. I can try this idea, but okay, he's a good player, so he finds the right move. And I was thinking I can take and go knight takes, but it's a little bit... Is that holding on or not? Maybe I should just... Okay, if I can't see a reason why it's failing, then I should probably do it. Famous last words. Got c3, but we might as well take the pawn. It just feels very loose here, so like I can, instinctively feel there might be an issue, but I'm going to take with the rook, and now knight here. Is that the issue? But I do get rid of this one. I've got rook here, so it's, well, my knight's on pre. So it's a really interesting position. I'm relying on the fact that I've got pawn c3 in the majority of cases, like here. Now, I've also got this one, which, again, feels so odd, doesn't it? feels so odd. I'm just going to stick with a normal move. I played a lot of odd moves already. Because if he grabs this pawn, then my rook comes to h3. Then my rook comes to d1. And let's make sure we actually... You know, he might have this move, but I'm hoping I can get this one in. Takes. So let's line this one up. And if his knight moves, he's got to watch out for checks. But probably f5 first in the position. So his knight moves, I play f5, and I've got knight e6 ideas. And his king's a little bit weak. f5 is going to increase some pressure there. Rook takes c3 was the move I was wondering about, but I think I can take and go here. So here we clearly play f5. And now pawn takes, we come in somehow. Maybe he's defending that one. Pawn takes, well, we come in, we have this one if rook h8. So here, so pawn takes f5. Okay, so now his king, surely. So this is the first move that we think about. And then queen takes, pawn takes, check, king here with a complete mess in the position. Do we have anything better here? Rook takes here first. Don't see how that would help. Rook takes, check. No, so this looks correct. No? That's a very complicated position. It feels like there should be a win here, basically. But this is... I couldn't see better than this move, because this move is just unclear, because my king is obviously unclear. Now where do I think I come forwards here? Unclear king, definitely. Or maybe I should have come back. What the fuck am I doing? Put my king here after rook here, for example, and this rook coming down. King, I'm playing like yeah, this is stupid. This check is massive. So queen here, check here. Why did I put my king there? Check, he wins my queen, right? Check here. Ah, that was stupid. And he's found the right move. And he's going to just come to d4. Oh, man. That was really very bad of me. So I have to come here. But now knight f2. And minimum knight f2. But maybe something even stronger here. Yeah, knight f2 is good enough, isn't it? This check. Okay, did I actually move there? Oh, I think I did. And I can resign now. Anything. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that tactic, it looked dodgy. It did look dodgy, and it was dodgy. And that's annoying. 1.5 out of 3. And that game should have been mine. Just wasn't calculating well there. So there must be something here, and indeed there is. And again, I can't complain. The opening went fine. I got my advantage in the early middle game, which I'm getting a lot, and I threw it away. Look, around here, you know, we played the opening, but I know the middle game, and I played the middle game well. Then my bad skills let me down. This is great. And now around here, I started to misplay it. So very frustrating. Rook d1, not best. In actual fact, I should just come here because I can go for e7. Rook d1 looks natural. It forces this one. And now f5, such a natural move, but it's not best. So this whole idea was flawed because of his knight takes c3. And now I should actually just keep it calm because this check doesn't work. My king is too... I mean, it was really a bit of a roll of the dice, this, because I think my opponent had to try this, and working out whether it's going to work or not, I don't think my opponent could do. We've dropped 1.5 points. I'm not that upset because I've had some interesting games, but we do need to start winning some games now. I want to get a big score this week. I can still get a big score this week. We've had our warm-up 3 games. Let's try to kick some fucking arse now, right? I mean, interesting game this. I mean, so so the opening, this Birds, again, I think I'm doing everything all right. And, you know, it's a typical kind of Dutch position that I like. And, you know, I have this attacking idea, one of my favourites, c3. But here, rook h3, correct. He has to play h5. And now just rook e1. Or, if I'm going to do it, play f5 now. Play f5 now. Why am I not... Why am I going... I'm going here because of the tactics, but the tactics didn't work. This move, I actually like this move better than rook e1 because I'm going directly for his king. This move I much prefer. I'm just trying to open up his king. I've got loads of pieces poised. And he's got to now play here, which will lead to a very nice position for me where I'm basically the exchange up in an ending. So I've got all the winning chances here. So this would have been... Yeah, this is annoying. And the tactics just worked in his favour, didn't they? Fuck. And knight e6... Yeah, I did realise my king is just too weak here, but I realised too weak. And even coming back, it's not good enough, and I didn't calculate hard enough here. And this move I kind of missed. I missed it until it's too late. Other moves actually still pretty good. My king, look at my bloody king. These guys are offside. What am I even thinking here? This is absolute load of rubbish. I'm absolutely getting bent over and spanked hard here in a very inappropriate manner, which I'm not enjoying. Some people do, but I don't enjoy that in this position or in general in life. I don't really enjoy good spanking. We'll leave that to the spank elitists out there, and I'm not a spank elitist. Okay, so big mistake here was actually this quite natural move. Either create a threat or keep on attacking. And this move I like the best because it simplifies into a better position for me, risk-free. So this is what I should do. And, you know, if I can open up his king, great. So another success for the birds, but another unsuccess for this idiot. Fair enough, but we're on 1.5. We played 2 good players, and we're going to start playing a lot better now, I think. We've got a couple of games out the way. We can still get 9.5. 8 points. That's all I want in life. 8 points. So I can still drop another 1.5 points. Yeah, baby. Definitely a glass half full person. If I wasn't, I'd be dead by now. I think that's for sure. And yeah, let's see who is at the top on 3 out of 3. Well, all the normals are up there, and there's still a couple of games going on. So this one is looking pretty bad for white, and this is the guy I thought was Rajabov, but it's certainly not Rajabov, and he's trying to find the resign buttons, and like me, he loses on time. Just an Indian FM. Surprise, surprise. Kramnik, where are you? No, I mean, these Indian FMs are just so strong. They're so strong. This is the thing. Is that the same guy that Kramnik said was cheating? I don't know. I don't think he's cheating at all. I've got no evidence for that whatsoever, so no. But I just think the Indian players are just underrated, as are a lot of players nowadays. I mean, it's so easy to digest information. Okay, we need to win this one. We're on 50%. And we want to get a roll going. Is that Russia? Is that international? That must mean Russia. What's this little thing here? It's a stockfish thing. Does that mean he's using stockfish? You better not be, you bastard. And it is a fish. That's quite worrying. Why are they showing a fish there? I'm playing the hippo because a lot of people used to say I resemble a hippo. The same body type. When I was bullied at school. And it was quite funny actually because, yeah, I mean, Ginger's, well, I think if you stand out, you get a bit of action at stall, don't you? So you get used to it. And this is the hippo through and through. Let's get back to the chess. Stop talking about hippos. And this move is a slight mistake on my opponent's part, maybe showing he doesn't know the best setup. The best setup is actually to bring the knight to g3. This knight belongs over here. The computer hates this position for black, but white's basically done everything correct now. Now, it's quite hard to find a plan for white because maybe pushing a pawn is fine, but you know, then I get some squares. Now this one, I'm gonna try to meet a5 with b5, the Lego move I call it in the hippo course I filmed. If he goes here, we go here. We don't want the bishop coming in there, so we push it away. And now I get this move in, which I'm a big fan of. And the only thing to calculate here is this move and e5. But I'm not going to bother calculating because I'm lazy. Because if he doesn't play e5, well, this might win a piece. And even if he does play e5, this might do damage. But I'm not calculating this just because I can't be asked. I want someone to write a chess book like that. I can't be asked. Don't bother calculating. I mean, how many people can actually be asked, really? Not many. Come on, let's be honest. Not when you're playing blitz. And you can castle in these positions. Got to watch out for this move always. Okay, my opponent plays a wait and see move as well. And now this one is really encouraging him to play that. But I'd love to get my knight over here. Here, e5. Knight here. And am I getting taken? Oh, I'm going to try it because it's interesting. Now, he must play e5 here. And go for this one. If he doesn't play e5, then I'm doing fantastically well with kingside. So let's look at e5. Here. You should really calculate things, Simon, before you play them. All right. Well, the point is, I'm trying to get action here and here if he plays e5. e5 double edge because it opens up my bishop. And after e5, I'm going to go here. Now, bishop takes, knight takes, pawn takes. Knight takes here, pawn takes, bishop takes here, pawn takes, like this. So let's see. So I'm going to go here. Now if I get a chance to take this knight as well, that's another idea I've got. I'd be doing very well because I am starting to gain some squares on the king side for my pieces. And now against this one, maybe we take the bishop first. And the reason we do that is we want to be able to meet this with queen takes. And, oh God, stop pre-moving. And after this one, I guess I'm taking the knight and taking here. Because his king side does look a little bit loose. So, there you go. Don't think, just move. The title of my new book. Now, if he takes here, I'm probably not going to grab that with check first, because his queen comes over. If he takes here, I'll probably just be very calm, but... Now, what do we do? Okay. Now, F5 just seems totally wrong. This move, am I worried about him taking this? I don't know if I am or not. Okay, let's play here to open up the range of the bishop. I could have taken that pawn, but I didn't see I could. I was just like, take a pawn with check. Don't see it. I mean, okay, but now this is looking really dangerous for my opponent. Queen here. Rook takes here, king here, check, king back. Takes, check, king here, check. King here, not working quite. Here. Okay, let's just play this for now. Queen d5 is going to increase the pressure there. Okay, but now I can take this one, no? And he's going to take here. Which is a bit annoying. Okay. Now queen here. Rook here. Okay, queen here, but how's this going to be? Only slightly better for me. And what am I doing? I'm missing shit all over the place. Ah, dear. Terrible. I had a great position, and I've now... I don't know. Is this... I've got e5 if he takes the rook. That's my little trick. And if this... Yeah, he has to do this. But this is not amazing for me. Because I've got this stupid rook in the way now. e5, his knight comes in. Great. I don't want to play e5. So what am I doing here? This pawn is very annoying. This is a stupid square for my rook. So okay, but what else? Okay, let's go here. I don't know what else to do. Now he's stabilizing. Okay, and I'm gonna have to use the clock a bit here. Annoyed that I've dropped a pawn there. I didn't need to drop a pawn in the position. Obviously, I had a very nice position, and he's playing well now, which is also a little bit frustrating when they start to play well. And I'm playing horrendously. Fucking hell. And his rook just comes in now. And, well, I mean, yeah. I mean, this game over now. the way I've played this game has been really bad. Really, really bad. Again, getting good positions, but not doing well with them. Yeah, I can't exchange rooks, but it doesn't really matter, does it? This position is hopeless. Hopeless position, but we keep fighting, obviously. Rook coming here is an idea. Trying everything I've got, which is not quite good enough, right? But we're still fighting, funnily enough. Yeah, fuck you, man. Nearly had you as well. Can we play for a win? Well, okay, we got a draw there. Amazing save at the end to keep us on 50% and keep him with dreams of getting 9 points out the 9 points, but just annoyed because again I played the start, the middle quite well, but just the late middle game I let myself down, which is the story of the last encounter as well. And yeah, obviously I'm completely lost around here. I just managed to hustle him a little bit, and this has gone very well. And even around about here, everything was working fantastically for me. And I should just grab this pawn, but it's not the end of the world. I didn't. You know, it doesn't make a big difference where I grab it or not. And here, I did play the top move, but why on earth am I allowing his queen to come in near my king? It's like a beginner's mistake. Why on earth do I let this happen? Why don't I just defend it, you know? Just do something normal. Like king h7 is just a sensible move. It's not the position as good as I thought. We'll have a quick look at the game review. I think my opponent played pretty okay. And you can see, you know, oh my god, what, did I miss? I missed the win here. Oh my god, I thought I could. Oh no, I missed a checkmate at the end. I could checkmate him. I was going for the draw, but I actually had checkmate. Rook f2 check. I even said checkmate, but I'd given up on the idea. This just shows you that if your mind drifts at all, if you're concentrating on one thing, maybe I am a glass half empty kind of guy. Look at this. I was doing check, and here I could have checkmated him. I thought there was something there. My unconscious mind was talking about checkmate, but I didn't do it. Oh no, I missed the golden opportunity. Anyway, it probably wasn't deserved, but that's chess, isn't it? Now, what about this? I just missed knight takes here. I should play anything else, like queen here, e5. e5 is probably a very solid way to play. The queen's come off. That's about even, but I'm all right, you know. If he got his knight to this square, I'll be a lot worse, but we're not going to allow that. So, anyway, I thought my position was a lot better than it was, but maybe it wasn't as good as I thought. Shows you how bad the hippo is. You do everything you want in the hippo. You get absolutely everything. So you do all your plans. Your opponent doesn't play the best plans. You get a nice little open king side to attack, and you're still equal. But I still love the hippo because it's very easy to play. It's like a lazy opening. It's like Jabava London for lazy people. It's not equal, but it's really easy to play, and there's something to be said for that. A lot of openings very delicate and hard to play. I think the birds is easy to play, but that's because I play the Dutch. So, you know, you want to make your life easy, right? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was reading up about simulation theory the other day, which I've talked about before. You know, the idea that we're all in a simulation, like the Matrix, and you know, which I kind of feel is an option, but I don't want to think it's an option. I don't really believe it's an option that we're plugged in. And obviously you can play on different levels, right? Before you go into simulation, you can play easy level. That's when you're born a billionaire probably and you have a very easy life. Or you can play on like medium level, which is what most of us probably do, or very hard level, which is what the unfortunate people do. But then you get little tasks, you know, that you got to do during your lifetime, even if they seem menial, like visit the telephone box on that deserted island in the outback of Scotland Island, Arran. That's one of your tasks, and if you do that, you level up, and then when you level up, you're able to, like, I don't know, see ghosts, because that's a skill you gain. What am I talking about? I'm going mad. So I don't know. I thought it was quite interesting because you know, and I mean, I don't believe it. I have to say, I don't actually believe it at all. I think there are many reasons why it's not. I mean, what's the point of it? Why would you bother doing it? I mean, I don't believe it. I suppose like a computer game, but anyway, it's interesting. This book I was reading. So yeah, but what was I even wabbling on about? I don't know. But yeah, this is easy. The hippo, but maybe the easy things in life are not as rewarding, right? If you can get through the hard stuff, it's much more rewarding. And this position should be really good for me, but maybe it's not as good as I thought. And going back here, yeah, e5 makes more sense, doesn't it? So I can take with a queen in some structures. But yeah, right at the end, missing that checkmate, that would have been a really spanking way to finish the game, wouldn't it? Well, okay, we're on 50%, so we're still on basically we're on a possibility of getting to 9 points, and we haven't ruined the dream of getting to 8 points, but I'm yet to win a couple of games in a row, which helps. Looking at the tournament scores on the doors, where we've got, I wish I could take 4 away from 11, 7 rounds left. So to get to our big score, we need 6 out of 7. And we need to now have a really good second half. So there's a break here. We can see, I don't know how long there's left with the break. I can get the clock up, which I've realised is a possibility. 2 minutes to start. And the next 4 games are key. So if I can get a big score on the next 4 games, the middle of the competition, well, I can get up to 6 points. So let's just try to kill it. 4 out of 4, nothing else. That's what we need, right? And these guys have already started with 4 out of 4 and doing well. So hands up there, hands off the computer, hands. Anish, I was, yeah, I don't know. Think of Amish. But Lanish up there, all the normal. Hikaru, don't know what he's doing. And yeah, it's who's who, isn't it? So the next round should start soon. So we'll prepare ourselves for that. I'm gonna stick with the birds because this. Okay, I'll play a different opening next week. Don't worry, but I'm just enjoying it. And I think, like, to master or to really get good at any opening, you need to play a shitload of games in it. You know, to really understand an opening, you can't just play it like a little bit. You have to play it loads. Preferably not just in blitz chess, but blitz chess at least is a good way to get a real mounting of games. So you know what's going right, you know what's going wrong, you know what you like, you know what you don't like. I haven't mastered it yet, but I've got a good feel for it now, I think. Especially after just doing this chessboard course. After filming the chessboard course, you know, I've obviously looked at everything in depth. I can't remember everything, but I've got a good feel. In blitz, I can't remember everything because I just go wonkers, and I don't even know if wonkers is a word. But it's a cool opening. I think it's going to become much more popular, the birds. Yeah, but we have to get 4 out of 4 now. Use the force. Let's get my magic drink out. And here we go. Sleeping in the fire. In the fire. Da, 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 da. Quite a nice name, that. Sleeping in the fire. I like that name. That's cool. It's a cool name. Good handle. And we might get another Dutch. It's a day of Dutches. No! Do we do the hippo again? I don't really like the French defence at the moment, but I'll play it. Okay, let's go Winaware. I haven't played this for donkeys. Now this move is a good answer to this, I think, because it keeps the tension in the centre rather than winning a pawn where you don't hold on to that pawn. This gives a lot of dynamic possibilities. And again, my memory is just trying to work out what happens after the pawn comes to e5, which looks natural. This is a really, really boring move. What's wrong with you, man? He's playing incredibly dull that way, but maybe not bad. Dull is not always bad. It's an exchange French effectively now. My one hope is that he's discombobulated there, so we can quickly fire him up there. So I'm going to castle. I mean, I know I'm in an uncomfortable pin here. We can go queen d6 to get out of the pin, if need be, but I do want to discombobulate these guys. Because something like rook here, we start to threaten knight takes pawn. Rook here, we might have bishop g4, especially if he plays g3. And I might even go h6 and g5 to open my king up, but allow my knight to come into this square. So he's playing very riskily, because now I will play rook here. I don't see any threats as of yet. He's stopping knight takes pawn by blocking it, but here I might even slip the bishop that way. I can always get rid of this knight. So now knight takes e4 is just begging to be played. Is my king side in any danger? I don't think so. He's only attacking with these guys. If he takes there, I mean, he hasn't got any backup. Is he really going to castle this way? Now, this move, he might take there and get a perpetual. I'm going to eliminate this knight because my bishop is useless now anyway. And think about g5. When I think he has to take here, can I avoid the perpetual check? I think I just go king h7, king h8 and knight h7. So this is certainly the most testing move because he's discombobulated. If I give him time, he will get out of his discombobulated position. So my knight wants to fly in, and if he takes on g5, I'm going to put my king here and my knight here, which looks like a nice safety net. He's only attacking with his queen. It's not enough firepower to seriously concern me. So bishop here, knight here, but then what does he do? Because I've got the queen coming to f6, and he's got this. So I think he has to do this. And now this is the one way to avoid the perpetual check. He should castle probably. It's still, the thing is, he's made it messy by doing this, and he's done exactly the right thing. Because knight here, he can take the pawn, but I get the queens off. His knight can now move, so he's made it messy. Do I start attacking? I've got to be a bit careful about these guys coming out. Got to give him a little bit of respect there. Now this one takes, well, no, he gets a lot of checks, doesn't he? Bishop e6 first. Also some rook move, but then check king here. Okay, I'm going to go here and here. A bit greedy. I'm trying not to allow him to take here. Must have been a better move than that, but with the time ticking, we're just trying to get a nice box on. I might as well keep this pawn if I can. Might as well not allow him to take it, which after here he could have done. Even though that position should be favourable for me. If he plays b4, my knight wanted to come here, but it can't anymore. So maybe b5, excuse me, should be the right move. Okay, I have to put my knight over there. It's not too bad for me. And just knight h7 next is my move. He hasn't got time to get his bishop here, fortunately. And he's fallen asleep in the fire. In the Williams fire. And okay, well, we now play here. We're not going to take too long. The queen's come off. We're clearly better because we've got, well, a material advantage. And I think this would now force the queens off. So let's do it. And does this move help? I don't know. It kind of encourages him to play a move that maybe he wants to play, but I wanted to get this knight dancing. Don't want to lose this pawn. This pawn is weak, so let's go for it. Take it. Now, hopefully, he wants to... You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to go gung-ho, but let's not be afraid. My king can come to f8 to avoid the checks. And this one is tricky. This one is good because we've got rook coming in if he moves his rook up. And we've also got this little baby. There might be stronger moves, but this pawn is so fun to push, isn't it? Just keep it very safe. Get off this one. Avoid this idea. And there we go. But he was losing there for quite some time there. So, okay, so that's the first of 4. We just need to win the next 3 to get this momentum in the second part of the tournament going. Probably an okay game there. Again, whenever I think I play a good game, the computer says no. Computer says no. But the graph indicates I played all right there, yeah? And he starts to really go wrong around about this point, which I'm just playing normal moves, right? I mean, I'm not doing anything special. I'm doing normal moves, and he fails now to move this knight. I really think he should have played knight g3 and bishop e2 or bishop d3 and castles here, because as soon as he fails to move this knight, he can't move his king. He starts to move this bishop, but is he really going to castle queenside with this exposed king? Very unlikely. So he just failed to stick with basic rules of development there, which is develop your pieces and get castled. I mean, you can't go too far off piste when you're playing chess in the opening. You can try out new ideas, but you've got to get your pieces working together. And these guys never worked together here, so he was never able to get any momentum with his structure or position. Now Fabiano is on 5 out of 5. Magnus Carlsen I didn't realise was playing, and my friend England number 1, 2 or 3. This shows you how much I keep up to date with chess. Gwaine Jones, great guy, is up there on 4.5. And look at this guy. This guy has only dropped a draw to a legend. Apparently, don't know who that legend was, but he's really good, and he only draws with people who are like Magnus Carlsen strength, that guy. Any games still going on? Let's see. 1 game, no games. So the next game should start. I know loads of games going on. Anish, let's have a look. Anish, a pawn up here. And this, well, is it a draw? It should be a draw because he's a pawn up, but if he exchanged off one more pawn, it's a dead draw. And the only way he can win is by getting into this pawn. So he's got to get to this square of his king. So this is very clever. Now he's going to try to get his king here. Anish is a brilliant endgame player. Well, actually, Anish is just a brilliant player, I think it's fair to say. And now he's getting ready to block the check. His king now can come here, and he's getting his pawn moving a little bit. But black has a blockade and dart square, so still a draw. Black's still holding this very well. Now this is another way he can try to win, and black's trying to get counterplay against f2 now. Black can't get through on the squares, and now the d pawn's coming. So, but if you ever go d7, as bishop takes d7, so it's still hard to win. But Anish playing very well, and his pawn's made a lot of progress now. And the pawn, can it go? Can it go? This is what he's working out. He decided it couldn't be pushed there. Why couldn't he have pushed the pawn there? That was intriguing. He's trying to win another way just by getting ready to play d7, and surely now d7. Why can't he play d7? Is bishop takes really drawing? And Anish does win on time. Brilliant endgame play. He was clearly making great progress, and he won it a lot better than I would have done. Funny that. And now the bishop can't control d7, so that pawn goes through. So really, really nice play. I mean, these top players, they're great at every area of the board, and someone has forgotten where the draw button is here, as they often do. Just swap the rooks off white. Why are you trying to win on time? Don't. It's dirty. I mean, I don't mind a bit of dirtiness, but not complete filth. This is just complete filth. It's not just a little bit of filth. Just take the draw. Surely these people should be like fined, like, I don't know, a year's salary or something. And I'd love to see white lose now for not taking the draw. And they have got to the 50 move rule, all agree to draw. So the next game is incoming. Now we need to get 3 out of 3. We're very capable of doing it. So let's just try and get that capability on the board. And my favourite little starting move, the birds. And people might laugh at this move, but it's a good move. Now ask yourself the question as well. What would you do if your opponent played 1f4 against you? Because that, I think, proves how rare the birds is. It's a very rare move. And we're now going into a system where I can now get like a Rosalimo, basically. A Rosalimo Sicilian. It has some similarities. I'm going to try to play e4 because I like that pawn structure. It's like a classical Dutch Rosalimo. My opponent now has played this interesting move, which I was wondering about. And this could be a reason you don't go d3. Again, learning. Now, if I take, he's going to take and put the bishop here. So yeah, maybe d3 was a little bit inaccurate there. Again, this is a system I haven't had any practice with yet. And practice does make perfect. Takes. Okay, well let's take the pawn. It's the only way to challenge black's idea. And now I was thinking black can take or go bishop f5. But if he goes bishop f5, I realised I have knight d4, which made this look a bit more attractive to me at least. You know, bishop here, knight here. And at the end of the day, it is a pawn. So I'm putting it on my opponent to prove the compensation. Maybe knight e4. So he opens up this guy. But knight e4. Okay, so he's attacking the pawn this way. Now knight e5. I mean, I could give the pawn back, but that knight here, he tries to swap off that knight. I don't want to go b3 because... And okay, knight a3. Not a great square for my knight then. So, very tempted to... I'm going to give this pawn back. The reason I'm giving this pawn back is to try and shut down the bishop on g7. I want to get my pawn here to shut one of his bishops down. And you know how much I love this structure. So I'm going for that. So we're going to shut that down now. And this gives me an easier game to play. He's got the 2 bishops, yes. Do I want him taking that knight? Probably not. Okay, so king has to come up to avoid doubling pawns. But I'm trying to play against this guy. And if he plays f6, which is a good positional move, he's playing good moves. If I take, bishop takes, and then c3, I guess. And position must be about even, I think is a fair assessment here. He's got this weak pawn. And he's got this very strong bishop here. This is a very nice bishop. So equal, I think, is fair. 2 bishops, but I can eliminate one of those bishops with something like this if I need to. But I really want to think of a way to try and fight this one. Okay, well, we have to develop, because I've got problems with moving my rook. Now, do I move that pawn? Okay, I'm going to move that pawn because I might now be threatening to take there, and I get a pawn off pre. Yep. But now this pawn's on a light square, and this light square bishop scares me a lot. Okay. For example, you know, it starts to get targeted. I don't want to swap off the dark square bishops because this is, I don't think, a great piece. So yeah, this was the issue. Now I was hoping I could just come here. This check, anything to worry about? Do I even play this ugly looking move first? Don't like that move. So let's... Now bishop c2 though. Bishop c2 is quite annoying. I don't, because I wanted to get knight here, but... And king here, and knight here. Don't know. Bishop c2, knight c4. I get that threat. That's much better way to go. So he comes back. And how do we improve this position? So I don't want him breaking with this, really, if I can help it. Okay, we'll come back once. And after here, I'm going to play this way now. So I'm going to offer an opposite kind of bishop position, but we both have weaknesses. I got this a pawn, which I decided to put there. Okay, so now he has come back. Okay, king here, then he wants to break with it. Okay, we have to allow it. Gets rid of his weakness. If we want to win, we have to allow him to improve his position. Here, I've got check. Obviously risky playing like this, because he is a bit more... Yeah, this is still a good move from him. This is... Okay, but now... This is... If he goes bishop b3, funnily enough, this is checkmate. It's bizarre. Good move again, though. Here, rook here. Here, takes here. Here, rook here. Fucking hell. Has this gone wrong? Ah. Looks like it may have gone a bit wrong. I want to play h4, but rook h3 is the problem with this move. I have to play this, otherwise I have no chance. B6 here. This is not good. Not good at all. Ah, Simon, this is horrible. Okay, he's pushed that one, which I'm surprised about, but maybe it's okay as well. Yeah, this is probably losing, guys. Probably losing. Well, it is losing. Oh, it's check as well. Why did I have to play like this? So bad. Such bad technique from me, but... yeah, his king's just coming in. And there's not much I can do to stop this. And his rook comes over and it's the end. Ah, okay, that was annoying. I just pushed too much there. Oh, fuck. I was quite happy the way things are going as well, but then didn't play well in the middle game. So we've got to sort this out for the rest of the tournament now. Should be taking a draw effectively here. I should just be keeping my knight on this square. I shouldn't be pushing too much. And earlier on, well, let's have a look. I've got to look at the course and I've got to work out what is suggested here. And I'm not sure about this d3 move because I don't like c4. I wouldn't play d3 again here. My opponent played a very excellent c4 move there. And he played very well. He played very, very good game. 94% is high. So if I was going to play this again, I would definitely prepare this move. So as the computer's top suggestion gives, something like this first is a way to get what I want. Because now d3, I will take that pawn without the problems I had. For example, here, d3. And I want to play e4. And if c4 is played, I much prefer this position to the last one because the queens are on. I've got more dynamic possibilities here with this kind of idea. So this is a much better way to play. And other ways I can play this. I was thinking vaguely about this, but then I realised this light squared bishop is just too strong. And knight c3, another computer suggestion. Maybe I don't even need to play this move. Yeah, this is what I'm sure. This is the line that's given. We play with b3. It's amazing how things come back to you. And I was talking about this a lot in the course for about an hour actually. And now that I've seen it, it's like, yes, that is the way to go. Because again, you want your bishop on this diagonal. And I just leave this. I leave this structure the way it is. The whole idea of playing d3, you can see I've been hesitant about putting the pawn there, even with the queen on e2, and it just doesn't. It's not right because it allows black to get this sacrifice or this pressure. But if I play this way with b3 and bishop b2, I have a very compact pawn structure. I might be able to get rid of the dark square bishops by playing a knight a4 and swapping them off, and I don't have to weaken anything. I can still play for e4, but get my pieces developed first. So that's the way to do it. Well, guys, to get 8 points, I need to win every game now. So far, we're about halfway through. It's been a tough title Tuesday, as it often is. But let's just try to have a good finish to it. I'm learning. That's something. It's always good to learn. It's better to win, but let's now start winning, rather than learning. Let's just win. Okay. So how many have we got to go? We got 5 wins to go. Okay, come on. I'm gonna mix it up now. We play the Dutch all the time. Let's play this one. This is very interesting. Very tactical opening. This is not the hippo, because there's a pawn on c4. You don't aim to do this kind of drosh. You can actually play it a lot more aggressive. This is actually called the English defense, because a lot of English players used to play this in the 70s, 80s. Spillman, Raymond Keane, Tony Miles, famously, Danny King. It's very interesting. And this move can set the board on fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Baby can't get much higher. And this is one of my favourite pawn sacrifices. This one. This pawn is a bit like a Dutch or From's gambit, where you put a pawn on a light square, you weaken the opposite number, the dark square. So I'm trying to come in on the dark squares. If bishop takes knight, we go check. We do not recapture. And I'm trying to use the dark squares. Now maybe this is a good way to go. But, well, okay. Okay, let's keep it simple. We get our pawn back. We get our knight to a nice square. We can check and castle. I like this pressure we have here. And there's some problems with d4. So knight here, we can't take here now and check because there's a bishop g6, but let's not worry about that. Do we put it on d6 or do we go check? That's what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking this could be more fun to prepare for where our opponent's king is likely to go. I'm going to try to get a rook in, get a queen in, and get them all pointing, well, apart from these two guys, pointing at him. We're not material down. Next move, I probably castle, and then I bring the queen in. This check was a bit quicker development, but I'm probably committed to taking the knight in most situations then. On this square, I've got ideas of playing for checkmate. For example, if he castles, I could consider queen here, g3. Knight takes g3. Very interesting. Pawn takes, bishop takes, knight takes, check, and we have at least a draw. But maybe we have more. King there, castles, bishop e4. Okay, so my opponent has just got rid of that knight, which I think is a good idea. And that's the downside of putting the bishop here. I would have been able to take the rook had I gone the other way around. Okay, good moves from my opponent. Good moves, because he's nullifying the pressure that I have. Now, does that help his knight? Okay, I don't know if his knight's better or worse there, but we'll find out. And he's done a good job here of defending, getting rid of my dangerous pieces. Because I did have many more bits attacking than I do here. So now it's getting to a more normal position. I don't like that move. I've allowed him to come in here. Luckily I can take and come here. But still, I wanted to develop a piece. It looked normal. But yeah, this position is no longer better for me. It felt like I was better earlier on, but not anymore. Because my bishop's not great now. But my time situation is bloody amazing though. Wish I could get this kind of clock management in every game. Now I'm not swapping queens. This move just looks the most fun because it goes forwards. It does give him a square as well. He wants this one maybe. Okay, so now my knight come around to help that pawn out. And my bishop's not a great piece, so I think we take it. And I'd love to get this in at some moment, but the queen is lined up. G3, does that work? He's playing good moves, this guy. Here, knight takes, it works, doesn't it? And it just about works. That was a hard move for him to find with no time on the clock. Here, knight h4. Or do I just play rook? Okay, let's just keep it coming. Okay, here and rook f8. Still looks dangerous for him. His time's just too low here. I could take here, but I've got like moves like knight here now. Knight here takes. He has to take with the... Oh. Okay, I think this is right. And then knight here, because I've got knight f3. And against that one, I can take here with check. And this is looking now good for me. I'll take everything. But his time situation was too bad to handle that one. Well, that's one game. One game of many. And quite up and down, as we could see here on the... Well, you can't see, but you can now. But up and down, I'm never ever in serious trouble. And it was here I'm doing all right anyway, so I'm not so worried what I overlooked there. It was more in the opening. It felt like, yeah, around... Okay, so maybe I should grab this pawn. Maybe this is the one to do. Let's have a look. Very interesting opening. Got to have a change from the Dutch occasionally. It's always good to have a second opening. So here, I should go here, but then after g3, I guess I am taking here. Let's have a look. So I was only worried about g3, but yeah, it just tells me to take a pawn. Okay, so that was a better option. Now, the only other thing I was thinking was this bishop b4 check. And I feel this might have been a better option. The point being, if he takes my knight, it's in the game. I don't really want to take with a pawn because it gets rid of a lot of the fluid action. If I take with a rook, I keep that fluidness pressure there, the queen coming in. So in hindsight, the check makes most sense. But my opponent did, I think, a very good job here of eliminating the danger. These moves were great. And now I should have put the queen on h5, of course, to hit f3. So this was, as I mentioned, leading to an equal position. But this was really quite a... scaredy move, wasn't it? You don't need to move this knight yet. Yes, it is pinned, but you don't need to move it. And by going backwards, the knight is now not very good. It was on a nice square. And even though the computer doesn't approve of my f4, he's gone quite passive here. And this knight coming around, he started to cramp his own pieces, which was not a clever idea. So it goes wrong, and his time handling is very bad. And this is where I played correct moves. This is the best move. And now taking the pawn apparently best, but I saw a nice trick here, and the nice trick, I thought it was a nice trick, was here. Was rook takes f4, and now knight g6, and it does work. Yes, the other idea is taking here, but he can take with a knight now. If he takes with a rook, this wins the game, but he takes with a knight, and I don't have a good follow-up here, so this is not entirely working. Okay, there we go. Well, it's just nice to win a game there, and we still have 4 rounds left, so I'm still punting in this Title Tuesday. That was a much better game, I feel, in general, but we can still play much better than that. And in this position, Shirov trying to win, but held to a draw. Who's leading Title Tuesday? Should we have a look at that this week? Nihal Sarin. A number of people on 7 out of 7. And look, this guy drew with him in quite an interesting game, didn't I? Was that in the birds, wasn't it? Can't even remember now. I think it was the birds that we got there. Let's have a good finish. So we're going to keep with the birds. We're going to crush it now. There's 4 games. We got 4 points. So the dream of getting 8 points, it's there. The dream is alive. Can we do it? Can we do it? Okay, let's have a good crushing in the birds. Right, I'm a bit more confident now. I mean, now let's just crush it. We're good at the birds. We know what we're doing. We're learning. Come on, kill. No messing around. That's it. Stage 1, this little setup. Stage 1 done. Against this, we go for d3 and e4. I remember this vividly. This is the London system setup, but you can't do this e4 stuff in the Dutch, but you can do it here, and you get a very interesting position here. Now, I'm trying to think what we should do next here. g3, because the bishop's got to come to g2. Let's go for that. I was thinking briefly about castling queenside, but I think kingside makes the most sense. Let's do it kingside, because I want to play against this guy. Now he can grab a pawn, which I assumed would be too risky because of rook b1, and I'm going to stick to that. I'm not worried about that grabbing of a pawn, but we'll move the king out of the way. I mean, he's gaining space on this side of the board. This is true, but we're going to try to initiate some of our own fun on the king side by moving our pieces around. So he can happily attack on the queen side because I've got this armada of pawns, which I'm hoping will do something over here. So what break are we looking at playing? I think we're looking at playing f5. So we should play g4 to try and get ready to play this one at some moment. Here takes, doesn't quite work. How can we support that one? Bishop h3 looks a little bit weird, but maybe it's a good move. Maybe I should have got the pawn here first, another option. And if I play there, he's going to take on c2. So this is why I really want my pawn on f5. So we're going to play this bishop h3. Looks weird, but f5 gives me many attacking chances. f6 breaking open the position. Very interesting position, like King's Indian attack. Both sides are hammering away. Got to defend this pawn to go f5 on opposite sides of the board. And this came from a bird's opening. You'd never guess it. Now, we're just going all in with the attack here. I mean, he probably should take and go knight b4 and come at me. But we just have to deal with that if that happens, because we get f5. So he's getting ready to do something along here, but I don't care. We'll play it anyway. He might want to take and now bishop here, but I've got d4 now because his bishop is not annoying me. So I'd love to play d4, and I can also suddenly play on this file. Can he take here? Takes, bishop d6. That is what he's clearly thinking of, and he's clearly decided he can. Well, I think we have to try and work this position out as we see it. So knight here, knight takes, d4, knight takes, with queen here and taking here. Kind of want my pieces a little bit differently. I'm just thinking, okay, here, knight takes, queen here. Okay, let's try this. Knight takes, queen here, attacking this, but then bishop takes here. Rook takes, queen takes, bishop c3. Really complicated. As far as I see, he's got to take this one. I want to get my queen lined up anyway. So, hence why we're doing this. So knight takes... Okay, well he hasn't done that. But now his king is looking like a target. So's maybe not a target. Can we sack our queen? He's going to take here. Okay, knight here. Takes queen here. Kind of all in, isn't it? What a mad position this is. Sacking the queen. Knight here. Takes, but this pawn drops as well. Okay, we'll try this. Kind of maybe shot my load here. I could have taken something there immediately. But we're going to try and get this over. If takes, yeah, he's got too many pieces on it. If he takes. So I want to go queen here and f6. But then this one is also an issue I've got. Okay, well here... I'm going to go here anyway. This is where I wanted to put my queen. And it's really complicated still. Hence why I'm not talking or breathing here, because I need all my wits about me to try and work out these complications. And this is my idea, to try and pick up the knight here. And if pawn takes, then I was hoping we had something. But let's keep attacking. Lets his bishop out. Really dangerous position. And now, where do I move the queen to? Not much choice. Yeah, he's finding the only moves. He's got bishop here as well. Fuck. Bishop here is so annoying. Oh, mate. What have you done? Still got the two bishops. Still got initiative. Still got time. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, well, there we go. Again, not a very good week, unfortunately. And, some interesting games. We found quite a lot of things to work on. And, yeah, I'm missing my chances and not particularly sharp. And here was the chance, the golden chance, which I didn't see. And I should have taken on h6, I think, shouldn't I? Fuck. Of course I should. It's so simple. Oh, dear. Okay, let's have a look. Well, very interesting, but yeah, I'm just not getting the better of these tactical challenges, unfortunately. And it was very, very up and down here. But I should have taken this one straight away. And this one is actually pretty obvious in some respects. Well, it's a very messy position. And the point is, if he goes here, then I have this check. And that wins because we're coming through here. And if he takes here, then I have Queen G4 check. And we have Rook G1 coming in a lot of positions. And if the king goes here, then this move. And the attack sort of continues here. I'm not even a piece down here, so this is winning as well. So that was the one missed opportunity there. Really frustrating. And a bit annoyed with that. So, yes, that's enough for me this week. Sorry about that. We will have a better week soon, but at least it means I can finish a bit early, and I'm not going to put myself through any more pain. And there's a bit of a wait there as well. So we've still not got to 8 points again. I feel like we're getting close, but not with our score, but just with like, you know, the sort of missing a little percentage wise. If I get that extra little percentage wise, need to sharpen up a little bit before we get there. But as always, it was a bit of fun, and it's nice to play a little bit of chess now and again. Cheers for watching, most appreciated. On to another time and another place. Bye for now.